Welcome to Almost Outdoors. So today I'm going to show you how to winterize your camper. Let's get it started. Winterize your camper, before it gets cold, or when you're done with it, to put it away for the season. That way your lines don't bust, or any water in there creates a problem for you come the next season. You go to hook your water up and all of a sudden you got a leak somewhere. So a lot of people will use this little air thing that connects onto the back of your water, where your water lines go in, and you can just shoot air up through it to winterize it that way. That's a pretty good way, because then you just open your lines and you're shooting air, and you actually have to dial it down a little bit, probably 30-40 pounds or whatever it is, but it'll shoot air through your lines and essentially push all the water out. I've done that one year. I think I did it last year, but then I ended up I did it last year before we went to Disney, and then once I came back I put the pink stuff in there. So this, I like doing this, but I don't know, nothing's really a foolproof thing. So I like running the pink stuff through my lines. That way I know I got everything out of there, but it's solid pink coming through, out of my spigots and stuff. And then I know that that stuff's all through my lines. So this is a good idea, though. You get you one of those. Kind of use that in a pinch when I gotta get all the water out when it's cold, because I'm going somewhere later, maybe further south like Disney or something, just so I don't have to deal with that pink stuff once I get to that camping location. So I'm going to show you a couple things in here. You got to make sure you find your water heater and then switch your valves to close off from the water going into your water heater, because you really don't want pink stuff in your water heater. It's not going to hurt anything, but you just don't want stuff in there. So make sure that that rod's completely in the water heater. So you want to make sure that rod's completely in there, and I put a little of that tape around there just to make sure it was good. Let all the air out of there. Everything's all good. And of course it is off, so you want to make sure that is off. And the good thing about doing this during the winter time, when you actually have your heat running like I do inside, you can actually warm your hands, because my hands get very cold very quick. So I'm going to go in here and show you the lines to turn off. You want to make sure you turn that valve up, so it essentially closes this off from water going in this line into your water heater. Okay, so it's going to shoot it straight up there, and you're also going to close that off, because that creates that's where your water comes out of your water heater. So you're going to close both of those. Alright, so both of those are closed off. That one's closed and that one's closed. So usually there's another one that's in the middle here that you can close off. That opens that. I only have the two. The other thing that I do once I get my unit winterized, I take that little cap off. See this? See that right there? It's got water in the side of there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I take that off because I don't want that little bit of water to freeze that's in there. It could be pink after, could be just residual water that's in there. So after everything's said and done, I take that off, clean that screen out, and I'll leave that off through the winter. That way that water doesn't freeze and bust in there, because that's your pump, and I don't want that to freeze. So you got them lines turned off, you're ready to roll. So at this point we're going to turn our water pump on for about 15 seconds. We're going to let them lines run a little bit. And as you can see, I've done this before, I'm just showing you again. That's where I soaked up all the water that came out of there. So make sure there's nothing coming out. Let that thing run for a couple seconds, then turn it back off. You don't want to damage your water pump. See, if you live in the right around the Mason-Dixon line, up in the north a little bit, you can also heat your hands, like I said, with doing this. It feels amazing. If you're one of those November, December winterizers, because you take a trip down south and you got to come back and winterize it, really quick, heat your hands. It's real nice. So you also want to make sure that your drain is draining out there and all your water is out. Alright. Alright, so this is what I use to winterize mine. Like I said before, you can use that air connection on there and push all the water out with the air. It works just as good for me. I use it in a pinch if I'm going, like I said, if I got to winterize it before I leave. And there's some annoying dogs. So I'm going to talk around here so they can't see me. So I use this RV and marine antifreeze stuff. This is what I use. So I'm going to put some of this in. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So because of the annoying dogs, I'm going to have to tell you what I'm doing as opposed to showing you. I'll just point it out, and that'll be that. So I'm going to put my regulator on there just to make sure, because the pump that I have my antifreeze in a bucket. I'm going to put a water pump in there with my hose to the camper. It's going to push the water and just essentially like it's, you know, hooked up to a hose line. So I just want to make sure my pressure is regulated. That way I can turn it on and off and stuff, and it's not just sitting there pressurizing my pipes. I don't want a pipe to bust for any kind of reason. So I got my pressure line up to here. My hose runs down. Got it hooked up to a pump and antifreeze in there. Still got, I'll use 2.5. God bless it, 2.5 in there. So what I'm essentially doing, I'm just going to turn the stuff on, run the lines, the pink stuff through it. So I always do the furthest one away first, just so I know it can, you know, come all the way over here. Alright, so what you're looking for is pink stuff to come out of your lines, just like that. Nice solid pink there, coming out. Turn that one off. And we got pink coming out of that one. So I'm going to leave that. Alright, so next is going to be the shower. So I got hot water on there with a hot line turned on. Obviously I got pink stuff coming out there. I'm going to turn the cold on. And any of that residual water that's in the lines will just go out in the tanks and sit. So it's not going to hurt anything. You're going to have pink stuff in your tanks. And it'll essentially winterize your tank as well. So we're going to turn all that on. Put pink stuff through the shower. Because you want to make sure this is, there we go. There we go, now we're cooking with propane. The pink stuff coming out of there, essentially, you got pink stuff all over the place. There, and there. So that's all good. So next we're going to go to the sink. Sink. Pushing pink stuff. She's turning pretty good. Toilet. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure I got pink stuff on those. I'm going to run through them once, and then I'm going to run through back again just to double check that I have solid pink coming out. And essentially that's going into the tanks, which will winterize your tank. So our next one's going to be our outdoor sink area. Try to do something out here, and then all the dogs want to do is just bark and ruin my video. So got pink stuff coming out of there. Pink stuff coming out of there. Oh, it went clear on me. That's why you go back and double check. Last but not least, we're going to do the outdoor little shower area that we have as well. That'll be the last one. Then I'm just going to go back and repeat. Alright, so like I said, this is that little piece that comes off from your pump. See how much water's in there? Focus. Yeah. You don't want that to freeze, so every year I take that off, clean that little screen out, and keep this off until I go to de-winterize it. So don't forget to take that off your pump. That essentially could freeze, and you don't want that. So don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks for watching this episode of Almost Outdoors, and I guess I'll see you next time for some RV tips and how-tos and what nots to do. Thanks again. See you.